Okay. I'd like to start recording the whole process for the most basic service, starting from Densho to Sogei. And so as soon as the, let's say, congregants are ready to enter, altar is now being prepared. At any moment, Densho can start the bell, let people know that the altar will soon to be ready.
Sure.
Medium. Soft. This is how we initiate the 3 rounds of the bell. As it says on the chair, altar preparation.
Yeah.
So some priests are making sure the altar is ready. This is also the time congregation can come into the hall as well if they are not in the hall yet. Typically, it says 7. Now it's the 3rd, and the next one would be the 4th. But as soon as you find out that the altar is ready or the congregations are seated, you can always conclude the first round.
And that one is really loud so that everybody would know it's concluded now, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay, yeah.
So for the sake of, I guess, consistency, I'll follow the number. I believe it's 5th. And then after the 5th one, you can gradually go faster. 6th and 7th. And sweep from large bell. With this ending of the first round, it shows altars ready. Congregants are there in the hall. And this is a signal. During the 2nd round, assembly of priests are supposed to enter the hall. Densho will simply go on to the next round. And this is when all the assembly of the priests head out from their the quarters, area, wherever they are, and start getting together into the center of the hall. Typically, it says 5 if you don't have anything else. But again, if the assembly gathers in the hall, the last person enters, then that's also when you can start concluding seconds. This is the 3rd one. Again, the 4th and 5th comes a little sooner, but again, very gradual. Well, more like you see the assembly, the last person enters the hall.
Right.
And the last person bows to Shakyamuni Buddha. And then inward.
Yes.
So, this soft and large bell indicates the assembly of the priests are together in the hall. And then the Densho goes straight on to the third round. I have to put my computer here so I can use the Densho bell. So now the Densho is in the third round. It's Sogei's job to let Densho know the procession is ready. Ready. So what they have to do is ring the bell. Sogei sends the signal to Densho. Procession team is ready. Densho replies. Sogei sends another signal with a confirmation. And this will allow Densho to conclude the third round. When they conclude the third round, Sogei also is medium, soft, and large. Densho has concluded its third round. It's now Sogei simultaneously initiating the 3 standing bows. Now here we have 2 different bells, Sogei 1, Sogei 2.
Right.
The bell is supposed to be nicely toned, but here this is all we have. First standing bell. Among the team. And the third standing bow comes this way. Again, the Sogei's bell needs to be well tuned or selected in a way that the higher sound comes first and lower sound comes next. Anyway, then Sogei leads the procession. Densho also corresponds to this. Interval of the bells have to be equal. Now, the length of interval is determined by Sogei depending on how long this procession will last. If it's shorter interval, then you can make it a little shorter. And as you see, Sogei leads Doshi closer to the center, and Doshi almost approaches to the center. I'll just go with one more round. During this whole time, procession's proceeding. Now Doshi gets closer to the center. Sogei's job is allows Densho know that Toshi almost survived. And Densho concludes with one last flash bell. This allows the whole assembly and Doshi bow simultaneously together. Doshi and Jisha, sometimes Rijiko go forward and they offer incense. As it says, Doshi offers incense, stick the incense stick first, then offers the chip or incense powder.
Yeah.
Then after he's done with this, he bows in Gassho at the altar. Doan uses a small bell, and Doshi returns to the center of Haishiki and bows. Now Doshi starts spreading Zagu, and the Doan's job is to make sure that all the assembly is spreading Zagu. Doshi's first prostration, assembly also prostrate together. Doshi's second prostration. Now Doshi's third prostration, along with others. The second bell can come either immediately after the first bell, or you could also ring the second one when the Doshi's head touches the cushion. But there's various ways.
Okay.
Yeah. Now the Doshi's third prostration is over. He leaves the Zagu on the cushion. He stands up. Doshi goes forward. Now this time there's no incense stick, so he offers incense powder, incense chips.
Mm-hmm.
After he's done offering the incense, he bows in Gassho altar. Big bell. This is the initiation of the Honzonjogu. Doshi comes back to the Haishiki and he does his first prostration. Doshi's second prostration. Now, Doshi's third prostration. And Doshi keeps his head on the cushion, on the floor. Makanya haramita shinyo. As we continue to the chanting, Doshi's, after the three prostrations at the beginning of Heart Sutra, stands up, fold his zagu, and then continue to chant standing. Jusogyo shikiryaku bunyoze shari shizu sho kuso busho fumetsu fukujo fuzo fugenze ko 不識無住創業識無限に微税心理不識証拠異則道無限界内視無理識界無無明薬無無明人内視無老死薬無老死人無種別道 As it gets closer to the point where the doan starts ringing the bell, the first bell, Doshi should be aware of the timing of the bell and then should in advance step backward. 無知薬部特理部小と公募大サタエアンニャラミタク After this first bell, Doshi moves forward after bowing, offers incense, and completes the incense offering before the second bell comes. Or either way, Doan waits until the Doshi finishes the incense offering by the Doshi. 一切天道無足業涅槃三世小仏霊般若波羅蜜多阿毒多羅三脈三兄弟高知 After she bows and returns to the Haishiki, he expresses Zagu right there. Ochi hanya haramita zedai jinshu zedai myoshu zebu joshu zebu todoshu dojo 一切空心実高校説般若波羅蜜多収束説終末やてやて As we start chanting this gate gate, Doshi starts the prostration. Aragate harasoyate koji swaka anya shinyo. Having chanted, as Ino starts the echo immediately after the chanting, Doshi in the meantime is continuing the prostration. First prostration, second prostration. Third prostration comes just around this time. The heart of great perfect wisdom sutra, we reverently offer the merit generated thereby to our great benefactor and founder of the doctrine. Doshi's head should be on the cushion with the third prostration. He will maintain his head on the cushion until we finish the chanting of all the names. Everybody also bows standing in Densho facing Shakyamuni Buddha. The original teacher Shakyamuni Buddha, to the eminent ancestor Dogen, to the great ancestor Keizan, to the successive generations of Buddhas and ancestors who transmitted the flame, to the founding abbot of the monastery, great teacher Dokho Shuyu Dai Osho. Doshi stands up finally here this morning, while assembly also keeps his head up and then faces inward, and then put their hands in shashu.
Yeah.
Into the eternal three treasures in the 10 directions, that we may repay their compassionate blessings. We, Father, offer it to the tutelary deities of this monastery, the Dharma protecting devas and good spirits. What we pray for is the flourishing of the true Dharma, harmony among all nations, tranquility within the monastery, and that all conditions may be favorable. So she starts moving toward the altar and then offers incense. As though she bows after the incense offering, sometime around here.
Okay.
Then he bows after the incense offering. Then the doang rose. Oja, This bell also indicates that assembly should start spreading zagu. And when everybody spreads zagu, Doshe's zagu is already spread. Then first prostration. Second prostration. Third prostration. Everybody stands up. Doshi starts folding zagu. Assembly also folding their zagu, putting them in a sleeve. Each one individually bows to Shakyamuni Buddha and faces inward and bows in shashu. Once Doshi folds zagu and put that in a sleeve, he bows in gasho to Shakyamuni Buddha. Doshi steps back, bows in shashu, the same direction, but this time to the assembly. He turns around, and then in the meantime, Sogei is already out waiting for Doshi. Usually, they're also out during the three prostrations. And Doshi turns around and bows in gasho. Doshi exits, led by Sogei. This is for the reception. And then right around this time, once, twice, or maybe third time, no one can dismiss the assembly by assembly bows in gasho facing Shakyamuni Buddha. Now assembly bows in shashu facing inward to each other. Then from the top people, they leave. In the meantime, recession's continuing. So when Sogei leads the Hiroshi back to his quarter. They will ring the bell. So that's it. I noticed a little things that I probably need a little correction, but I did it with explanation. But I'm just gonna stop recording here at this point.